Our What to Watch For game presented by Sling will be on ESPN on Thanksgiving night. That's right. You'll watch some NFL. There will be NFL on against this, by the way, but we're watching the Egg Bowl. Relegate the NFL to the second screen. You want to watch Mississippi State going to Oxford as a 2.5-point underdog. Will Rogers, the Mississippi State quarterback, has asked Lane Kiffin for his towel after the game is over. It's like a jersey swap, except because it's Lane Kiffin's towel, because that's his thing.
Is he going to give him his jersey?
I hope so. That would be awesome. I think Lane Kiffin should give away the sweatshirt he wears in the first half. Have you noticed that Lane Kiffin changes sweatshirts at half?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So the come to
Do we
the
know
sip
why
sweatshirt,
he does that?
We should have asked when we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the come to the sip sweatshirt is the one I want. And that's he usually wears the cheekier sweatshirt in the first half and the more kind of staid, stoic sweatshirt in the second half.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like the explanation of something funny, like I sweat a lot.
Probably. I've watched Bruce Pearl sweat through a suit before. So it's entirely possible.
Have you ever seen Sean Miller coach an NCAA tournament game with a white dress shirt? Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's that would be me. Like if I were a college basketball coach, the best thing that would have happened to me if I'd have been a college basketball coach was when they went casual a couple of years ago and didn't have to go back to wearing the suits, because I would never make it in a suit. I would sweat through the suit in the first 3 minutes.
You know what I've always wondered? Back before your curling your car days, strength and fitness, did you ever out of shape, doing normal things around the house that would wind you for some reason, carrying water bottles up the stairs?
No, because I was heavy, but I was always in good shape. I was always exercising.
Well, there are certain things that would cause a normal person who's not in great shape around the house to become winded.
Yes.
And I've always wondered, what would being the head coach of a football team be like from a strenuous activity standpoint? Because there are some heavy coaches, there are some older coaches.
Well, and a lot of the coaches, that their idea of exercising is they wear a sweatshirt at practice, and that's how they try to sweat off.
Physically exhausted in the third quarter from running around, or is it so hocked up on adrenaline that you don't really?
I think it's adrenaline and smelling salts.
Yeah, I don't know if they take one of those cortisone shots in the middle of the game, to get things. It's like a
B12 shot. I doubt that, but no, it's
Bill Snyder running around up and down the sideline when he was coaching at K-State.
No, he's taking notes. He just takes notes.
Yeah,
and God forbid if you do something wrong and Bill Snyder takes a note, you're in trouble. It's gonna be bad news for you.
Okay, so who do you got in the game?
So this is a very interesting game because Ole Miss got shelled by Arkansas. If you can run the ball on Ole Miss, you can beat Ole Miss. I don't know if Mississippi State's going to care to run the ball. There have been times when they play, like when Mississippi State played a KJ Jefferson-less Arkansas, they ran the ball a bunch on them.
Mm-hmm.
But will they do that, or will they insist on throwing it 60 times? That's my problem. Because if
the coach's job is to identify what the other team's issue is and exploit it. So,
but you've met this coach.
I have, yes.
Mike Leach doesn't always do that. He gets in a rhythm and he's like,
"They are
okay,
a better
running
running team this year than they have been in the past, though, right?"
Yes, sort of. I think if they come in and try to chuck the ball 60 times, they're probably not going to win. If they take advantage of the fact that Ole Miss is not great at stopping the run, I think they got a shot.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because Ole Miss is going to try to run down their throat. And
this
Mississippi State is not a team that's easy to run down their throat, by the way.
The last day, too, for Lane Kiffin to be the head coach of Ole Miss, according to reports.
Well, according to
reports.
And to common sense, that now, maybe this changes by the time this podcast is dropped, but we've not had a Lane Kiffin contract announcement at Ole Miss, right?
Not that I've seen.
My guess is the moment he accepts a new contract at Ole Miss, that would be blasted out publicly. Yes. So that has yet to happen yet. So, and anytime somebody tells you they've done it, they're just holding it for a certain time off in the future, that's not true. It's not how it's going. Sometimes they'll, if there's nothing going on, they'll hold it for PR purposes. But when they're trying to put out the fire that is, oh no, Auburn may take our coach.
The reason why the contract has an extra digit in there is because they want to release it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So I don't know what's going to happen. if the more I think about it, and I feel bad, I answered a mailbag question, I think wrong a few weeks ago, because somebody asked me if the state law in Mississippi that limits the public employee contracts to 4 years, if that was going to make a difference. And I was like, I don't think so, because, it's still a lot of money either way. And the situation at Ole Miss, you could argue, is actually better. It's going to get easier when the divisions go away. But then the more and more I think about it, like, let's say they are offering $10 million a year. That means there's a piece of paper that guarantees 40, and it's fully guaranteed. There's a piece of paper that guarantees 40 million, and then there's a piece of paper that guarantees 90 or 100 million. We're all signing the bigger one. I'm sorry, we're all signing the bigger one.
I'm signing the bigger one.
I mean, maybe Lane doesn't. Maybe Lane's a different cat, but
you heard how he answered the would you rather questions. Very financially driven answers.
It's true. He went Biff Tannen immediately.
I'm not saying the guy's driven by money, but
is he Biff Tannen?
Yes. Sports Almanac, back pocket. I know. It's
is he going to turn, if he takes the Auburn job, will he turn Auburn into the Hill Valley of alternate 1985? Like, will there be fires just erupting everywhere?
I didn't know Biff's last name till you just said it. So it took me a second to get. What's his last? Tannen?
Yeah, Tannen. Tannen.
Didn't know that. It's been a while since I've seen Back to the Future.
Well, Back to the Future 2, which is my favorite of the series, you go into the future of 2015 with the flying skateboards, and then you get alternate 1985 where Biff runs Hill Valley.
Yeah.
Would Lane be that guy in Auburn?
Like, or maybe he would have just stayed at Tennessee.
Maybe he would have. Who knows? They could give him a big contract too, but I think they're happy with Josh Heupel.
Yeah, I think things are going okay there.
All right. So I'm going to take Ole Miss here. I'm going to take Ole Miss to win. I think they're going to run the ball pretty well. I don't have as much faith in Mississippi State to take advantage of the rushing yards that will probably be available to them. I'm with you. That's the scary part.